I'm beginning this video with just a quick comment that I had a senior moment probably 3/4 of the way through the video, and instead of referring to giants, I was referring to dwarves. That's kind of scary. Anyway, hope you find something interesting on the rest of the video. Okay, I thought I would put together a heavy metal video. This is going to be on giants. Most of these were probably figures that were available anywhere from, I would say, 25 to 30 years ago. I know giants don't figure prominently in the Warhammer fantasy world, but they did have an excellent sculpt of a giant before. I really don't care much for the current one that's sold by GW. It's just a matter of taste. It looks more like I guess a hill giant. These three are all Grenadier models, which would have been put out by the GW group. You can see there's quite a bit of scale difference there. I put a barbarian miniature in front to give you an idea of scale for the giants. And I'll clip on my macro here and give you a little bit closer look up at these three giants. This one on the left is really kind of smaller in scale, almost a full head smaller in scale than the one next to it, the barbarian next to it. Not a fantastically painted model, but something that would work out well possibly for an Empire army or something like that, if you wanted a giant that wasn't quite so foolish looking. Next one is one of my favorites. Can't imagine why. He's a barbarian with a wolf pelt. But yeah, this is I really like this particular sculpt. Nice big fur. Two weapons, about to pull a sword. And got his war axe over his head. If I can get down into some detail of the face, just a moment, I'll go down to the super macro, which is a little more intense magnifying glass. You can see he's got a good visage there, kind of growling. And then this last one was a frost giant. Again, nice sculpt. I think he probably had an axe or something. I don't think this was just a club, so it looks like I have managed to lose that over the years. That's something I'm going to have to work on replacing. Very nice sculpt. All three Grenadiers. Here's another to give you a comparison look. A couple of Minotaurs. Now this one might come in handy in a Beastman army. This is probably one of the very first figures I ever did any basing on. And this was a miniature for comparison, which I always did like Minotaurs also. And looking at them from a distance, not that big of a difference in size on them. Here's another series. Excuse me, I'll put these over. Of undead skeleton giants with a couple of guys in front for some size comparison. These are Ralpartha. I have no idea. And Grenadier. This, I think, was a good skeletal giant. I liked the details in him. It was one of my first attempts at doing any kind of a a rust because he really had a worn out chainmail and armor. This guy is more of a Reaper or a Grim Reaper type of character, but instead of the scythe he has some type of a wizard's staff. And this one, I guess it's royalty of some type. And let's see here. Here's a kind of an interesting set of giants, or a giant, a ninja giant. Scale-wise, to a regular miniature, you can see there. Not a badly detailed model. Got a trophy hanging from his belt. Not sure the use of a ninja giant. Bad enough he's got lightning reflexes and martial arts ability, but he's big enough to drop kick 6 city blocks. This is a figure I found while I was looking for everything else that some of the old timers might recognize. Thrud the Barbarian. Yeah, another one of my very early attempts at doing any kind of special basing, mainly because of the size of the model. Early models didn't come with a lot of base space on them, so didn't really do a lot of flocking and stuff. But I like Thrud. You can tell from the size of his head compared to his body that he's not a tactician. He's more of a, I don't know what it was, but I killed it. And then another figure that I kind of like, drop back for some size comparison. Now he, I think, could come in handy in a Tomb King's army. And that is this, not sure the company. Oh, it's Grenadier. Mummy. Got some type of necklace. Staff power. Well sculpted. Nice base. This is a nice sculpt. Now I could see this being useful in a Tomb King's army. I'm not sure why that Games Workshop hasn't got like a series of dwarves for the different factions, rather than just having that one dwarf, which probably shows up, I guess, probably 90% of the time just in a Chaos army. But yeah, I guess one of the issues would be how would he command his troops, but I would say it would be by some type of force of will, since mummies usually don't talk, except for the newest ones in Mum Ra from the Thundercats. You guys are probably too young for that. Here is a giant demon, which I think probably would work in either a Chaos Beastman type army or some type of a although Slaanesh and Siege doesn't seem to have a lot of fur. They're more into the gory intestinal plague-like stuff. And then I have some oddball stuff back here that I've come across over the years. I'm not even sure who put these out, but there's a demonic guy, and I do like to from time to time, I do like from time to time to add in a jewel. This one has a green jewel. Here's a storm giant of some kind. The only thing it says on the base is Harlan. Put a red gem on him. His beard and hair looks like there's a lot of wind flowing. He's got a lightning bolt in his hand. Just says Harlan on the bottom. This is supposed to be a fire giant, which I've never been happy with. I painted his eyes red. His armor was a metallic paint and it came out pink, and I absolutely hate painting in pink. If I ever do get to the point to where I want to strip down models, this will be one of them that I will do. And all it says is Steve Bissett and Fire Giant, no company name. And this last guy, I think it says like Valium or something on the bottom, but he's just kind of an oddball giant. Looks like he's carrying a book, has a whip, some type of a looks like he could be some type of a giant wizard's, I don't know, assistant. I didn't paint this one. He came to me this way. I think I bought him out in San Francisco. So anyway, there's a quick excuse me, get your Dramamine there from bouncing around. A tutorial on giants, and that there are a lot of giants out there, but I know there's not a lot of giants in the GW. Hopefully you saw something you enjoyed, saw something from your past, or saw something cool from the past. Have a great weekend. God bless all of you, and be talking to you later.